Hello everyone, my name is Stephen Oswansa. Today I'll be giving a presentation on the change process using the Beckhard Transition model. Now there are different types of models for the change process. One of them is active inquiry model, action research model, and the Beckhard Transition model, which I'll be using today. There are other ones. Which are also used by many other organizations. Now, the Beckhard transition model basically enables organizations to determine problems which are in their current state and then implement some changes to achieve the future desired state. Now, the Beckhard transition model has 5 main steps. The first is determining the need for the change, designing the vision of the desired future state beyond the change, assessing the future in terms of assessing the present in terms of the future to determine the work to be done, managing the transition state through the implementation stage, and reinforcing and sustaining the change. Now I must say that the Beckhard transition model is in the form of a cycle. So at each stage there is review and learning. So if changes are made and a problem is identified, review and learning is done at that stage, and the necessary changes to solve the problem are made and then put back into the system. Now the second stage is designing the vision of the desired future state beyond the change. Now at this stage, the organization, especially the top management, as well as the consultant, involve the other stakeholders in a collaborative process to enable them to visualize the desired future state and then adopt the changes that have been proposed. Now the third stage is assessing the present in terms of the future to determine the work to be done. Now at this stage the middle managers are very critical. Their readiness for implementing the change is very important here. Now at this stage there's a lot of dialogue to determine the criteria for evaluating the strengths and weaknesses of the changes, as well as determine the processes for conflict resolution. Now the fourth stage is managing the situation, managing the transition stage through the implementation stage. Now at this stage, mostly the implementation of the changes are done. There are two main aspects that are considered: the commitment plan and the strategy and operational plan. Yeah, I'll start with the strategy and operational plan. Now the strategy and operational plan enables the organization to determine the goals that will be achieved during the change process and the activities to achieve those goals. Now the commitment plan enables the organization to identify the critical participants of the change process, especially the one critical participant is the middle manager. So the commitment plan enables the organization to determine if the middle managers are ready for the change or committed to the change process before the change even starts. Now the last but not least is the reinforcing and sustaining stage. That stage has two main areas: reinforcing and sustaining. Now the reinforcing enables the middle manager, with the support of the top management, to ensure that the changes that have been implemented in the organization have been adopted by the stakeholders of the organization, so so as to ensure that nobody is going to use the old ways of doing things, but rather the new ways of doing things. Now the sustaining stage is also critical. It ensures that the changes that have been made in the organization last over a long period of time. Now there are techniques that are applied to ensure that the changes are sustained, and some of those techniques include reward systems, and then redesign of the roles, as well as performance reviews. So as I said earlier, the Beckhard Transition model is in the form of a cycle. So any problems that are identified at each stage, there's review and learning of those problems, and then the necessary changes that will solve those problems are made and then put back into the system. So this is my presentation of the change process using the Beckhard transition model. These are some of the references I used. Thank you very much.